This is Jim McKenzie and Don Niederfrank joining you again in another Gap Chat. So glad you've joined us today. Don, just checking in with you. How are you?
I'm good. I went for a bike ride earlier today, so I am inside. I have fully recovered with a blueberry smoothie and a handful of peanuts, and
So you were serious about that blueberry smoothie.
I was.
Yeah. Hey, was it warm out there on the bike?
It was. It was
Yeah.
surprisingly warm. I rode along the lake, but I don't ride in the heat like I used to. I think it's age. I don't tolerate it like I used to.
Yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to be able to be out in the sun and sweat and, etc. And I was fine. Just now, it's not as much fun as it used to be, but a lot of
Always
things.
looking for that sweet spot, aren't we? Where it's not too cold, not too hot, just right.
65 degrees.
65 degrees. Well, good for you. It's a beautiful day out here. It's a
Yeah.
nice little breeze. It's just spectacular. I'm glad to be outside for a few minutes, have time for a chat with you. Don, I've been having a number of people ask me lately, Jim,
Oh,
when do you think church will open up again?
oh,
And I say, I don't really know. And they say, how could you not know? And I said, well, we're kind of taking our cues from the conference office that's giving some guidance to UCC churches in the state of Wisconsin, and we're in discussion with them.
right. And the interesting thing or the difficult thing about churches is that singing is one of the most emotionally expressive things to do, but it turns out that singing is also one of the most virally expressive
All these
things
droplets
to
go out when we talk, and even more so
absolutely, and
when
they
we
float
sing.
around, and then so unfortunately, and because churches are closed, in closed
Yeah,
rooms,
yeah.
and usually filled with a lot of people, it's going to be a while before churches open. And especially,
Yeah.
it's not like it's not like a business. It's not like we come into a church and we're there for, 20 minutes or a half hour while we pick up some stuff and then out we go.
Right.
We come and we sit together and we talk and we breathe and we're together, I mean, that's the deal. I mean, that's kind of,
Yeah. Some of our
have.
members, though, I mean, like all of us, we have some people over here, we have some people over there, some people saying open her up, others saying shut her down, and and they just want to know how it is that sometimes they direct the question, how
Yeah.
I'm going to make
Yeah.
that decision.
Yeah.
And I tell them,
You're
in
not.
the UCC, it's not me making the decision. Now, the
No.
churches, Don, the churches are autonomous.
Right.
Churches can make
Absolutely.
whatever decision they want. But in the UCC, we have what are called these various settings. We have the local church, we have the association, we have the conference, and we have the general synod.
Right.
But neither one of those has any power over the other settings of the church.
Right.
But we have what's called a covenantal relationship that is a little different than, say, some of our Lutheran, Presbyterian, Episcopal brothers and sisters.
Right.
You want to explain that a little bit?
Well, only that we are representational as we move up the hierarchy. We elect people to go to association meeting or conference or
Yes.
general synod, and this is what's so difficult for people outside the United Church of Christ and even inside the United Church of Christ. When the Wisconsin Conference meets, and passes resolutions, or when the General Synod meets and passes resolutions. The General Synod and the Wisconsin Conference speak to the churches, but they don't speak for the churches.
No, they don't.
And General Synod, it only expresses the opinion of those delegates that are gathered for that particular General Synod.
They speak for themselves.
Only for themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And
so
whether we open or not, it is really the decision of First Congregational. As much authority as I would like to have as a clergy person, I've always secretly wanted to be a bishop, you know.
You would have been a fabulous bishop. I would have put all those chains,
and that hat,
jewels, all, I would have helped you get dressed. So nobody's going to tell us when to open up the church. But in the UCC, we will consult and collaborate with the association and the conference, and we'll talk about it and decide when is the best time so that we can seek God's will and seek to serve in God's name in a very healthy and responsible way. That's the uniqueness of the UCC.
Right. And we will be in conversation with our sister congregations. You know, one of the things that sometimes gets overlooked in the UCC is the strongest covenant in the United Church of Christ is between congregations. It's not between the congregation and the national body or the Wisconsin Conference.
No.
It's associations exist because congregations come together and bind themselves into an association.
And we talk with one another and we listen to each other.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how we're going to make a decision on when to open the church. It will be a decision that will have many voices included in it. And in fact, folks, your voices will be heard and respected as well. Well, good to be with you again. This is Jim McKenzie and Bishop Don Niederfrank, secretly hoping, wishing you a good day in the Gap. Stay well, stay safe, and stay faithful. And we'll see you again soon, right here in the Gap.